Hey saddle hunters, I'm up here in my home state of Michigan at my old hunt club. Feels good to be here. Today's going to be a really cool saddle review, so stick around, we're going to get right to it. I've actually had several requests to review this saddle, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. This is the Classic Saddle by Stini Gear. This is a Canadian-made saddle, a Canadian company. Now, just a quick disclaimer, I did not purchase this saddle. The saddle was provided for this review, and the cool thing is I'm going to be giving this saddle away at the end of the review. So with that, I'm able to give you a 100% fair and honest review. While it's still in the package and bagged up here, let's go ahead and just get a weight on it now. So the saddle comes in at 1 pound 7 ounces. We also have a dump pouch that was included with the review. It is a 10.5 by 9 inch dump pouch. It does have your tri-glide attachment method here on the back with the drawstring to close it up, as well as a pocket. You can put your pull-up rope or your bow release, whatever you want in this pocket. It does not seal closed on the top, so whatever you put in there could fall out. Just make sure you're aware of that. But it is cool that there is some MOLLE out here. You could attach some gear on the outside of your dump pouch. So we'll give that a test. We'll use this with the saddle. Alright, so let's take a look at this saddle. Let you see it here. This one is the single panel with a pleat. I didn't bring my tape measure with me today to get an overall measurement, closed and open. So when the pleat is closed, the saddle measures 13 inches from top to bottom. And when you open up the pleat, it measures 17 inches. So you're picking up 4 inches with the pleat opened up. Now there's no mesh added to the saddle anywhere. So it's just the Cordura material. It does have a row of MOLLE across the top, as well as the bottom of the saddle. Now the MOLLE does turn into your lineman's loops here on the sides. Your MOLLE runs across the top and bottom and is just folded over and reinforced for your lineman's loops. They are nice and big. The MOLLE loops, they are loose, so you can easily get a finger through there, so it should be really easy to put tri-glides or your standard MOLLE attachments on here. There is a buckle here. One thing I want to point out with the gear loop that's included with the Classic Saddle is that was intended for your tag end of your bridge. So when you're walking in and you have your bridge tightened up, you can take your tag end, tuck it in your gear loop, cinch that down, and now you don't have this tag end flopping around. It is an ADF Raptor buckle. It's one directional. The waist belt does have adjustments on both sides. You have 2 tri-glides on your left side and 1 tri-glide on your right side. And there are keepers on both sides of the saddle for your tag ends. The waist belt is sewn into the saddle. It does have a Dynamo or an Amsteel adjustable bridge. It is adjustable on your right side. Your bridge loops are folded over webbing, reinforced from the top of the panel and the bottom of the panel. So girth hitched on both sides. We will see how well bridge pitch adjustments hold up and down the bridge loops. We'll test that out. Your leg straps, they are sewn right into the bottom of the saddle here. I do like they're sewn on a bit of an angle. Instead of hanging straight down, they kind of give you the direction they're supposed to be utilized in. So obviously that one goes to this side and this one would come over here to this side. But they are sewn in, so they're not completely removable from the saddle, but they are G-hooks. They're metal with, I'm assuming, some sort of polymer plastic. So they are adjustable. They do have a keeper. Looks like there's plenty of material here for guys with bigger thighs. So these will come over and connect to the orange leg loop straps here on the sides of the saddle, on the lower sides. So it's a pretty basic saddle, pretty simple. I like how light it feels. I'm sure it's going to feel very light while you're wearing it. Now, just a couple of ordering options. You can order the Attack Camo or you can order the Coyote Brown. The size will be custom, and when you order a classic saddle, it also comes with a milkweed pouch. So just kind of a little extra thrown in there for you. That's kind of a neat deal. So those are the specs of the saddle, the overall look of the saddle, and let's get this thing set up and head to the tree. I will be in the tree for a minimum of 1 hour. Might be in the tree 2 to 3 hours, not sure yet. We'll just see how it goes. I do feel the leg straps. They do pull across the front of your leg as you step. So it is more comfortable to take the leg straps off. And when you get to the base of the tree, just put them on at that point. The waist belt, having to preset these with the tri-glides, just a little bit of a pain, but once you have them set, you should be fine for the season. You are able to get the Amsteel bridge snugged all the way up nice and tight for the walk-in. All right, one of the tri-glide slipped out from the dump pouch, so I had to put that back in. So maybe sewing the molly loops a little bit tighter would stop it from pulling out. Alright guys, I'm up in the saddle. Let me get settled in and get the rest of my gear set up. Alright, so let's go ahead and test some things out. Before we get started, I just want to point out that my safety backup for my device is completely loose. There's no weight in it at all, so it is not interfering at all with the saddle. So I want to go ahead and make some adjustments and play around with the features. So first thing let's check is how smooth this bridge slides through the beaner. And it's an Amsteel bridge, so it slides nicely. There is a slight little bit of resistance. I almost like it. Very easy to turn for shots. And it feels like it has a little bit of a tackiness to it. I kind of like it, but it slides really nice. Like I said, no issues at all turning for shots. So real nice bridge. Let's go ahead and check the length adjustments. I have had a load in this. There's no tender on here, so you will have to stand up, loosen that bite just a little bit, and we'll see how easy it is to just shorten that bridge. All right, so there's a nice short bridge to make it longer. There's a nice long bridge. So easy to make adjustments. Let's go ahead and check the pitch adjustments up and down the bridge loops. We'll go ahead and go to the high side first. All right, let's see if there's any slip here. All right, 0 slip on the high side. Let's move it down to the bottom now. Okay, 0 slip on the bottom. So that does hold in every position. I do feel that pull along the bottom of the saddle now. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back up to the sweet spot. This quick link is just a temporary solution for attaching my redundant bridge. But right now this just allows me to take it on and off the different saddles that I'm testing. Okay, so those are really all the adjustments you're going to make. Your tether height, your bridge length, your bridge pitch adjustments. So let's finish sitting in the saddle and then I will give you my final thoughts at the end. Okay, so it's been an hour and 22 minutes. So I think it's time to kind of go over some things and give my final thoughts on the classic saddle by Stini Gear. So walking around at the truck and walking out here to the tree location, the saddle did not have any sag. The dump pouches wore in really nice, did not pull down on the saddle, stayed up in position really well. Now I will say adjusting the waist belt is a little more effort than some saddles, just because of the triple tri-glides on the waist belt. So again, it's easy to do, but it does take a couple extra minutes. Just wanted to point that out. The molly loops for the dump pouches are in a good position. My dropout bag on my right side and the dump pouch, the Stini Gear dump pouch on the left side, they're really easy to see right here and they attached really easy. I'm sure a traditional style molly attachment would be easy to do as well, the Velcro style or the style with the buttons. The leg straps were more comfortable when I took them off and did not wear them as I was walking in. As far as the lineman loops, I tried out the lineman's loops at the base of the tree there, climbed up, and they were really easy to clip into. They're a little bit flimsy, but it's kind of nice because the way these are folded and then reinforced makes them curve back. They don't hang up here and confuse you with your bridge loops. I really like how big they are. They're really easy to get a fist through here, almost 2 fists through here. Really big, really easy to clip into. As far as the bridge pitch adjustments, they held at the top and bottom with 0 slip, and you could definitely feel the change in the pull from the bottom of the legs to the top of the saddle. So that worked really nicely. The bridge slid really nice through the carabiner, but yet it's not real slippery, so I like it. As far as bridge length adjustments, so you do have to stand up, take your weight off, really loosen up this bite, and then you can slide your tag end through, or you can tighten it up and make a shorter bridge. So all the adjustments are easy to do. You just have to stand up to make those adjustments. So as far as the panel itself and the pleat, what I found for me is, so I opened up the panel all the way, and that is really comfortable. You are able to pull the top up, take your weight off, pull the top up a little bit, and you can just feel that going right across the top of your back, your lower back, and it's been comfortable. If you do start to feel that bottom strap running across the back of your legs, all I had to do is just take my weight off, either pull up on the waist and raise it up just a little bit, or pull it down just a little bit and settle back in and reposition. I really haven't had to do that, but maybe one time in the last hour and a half, hour and 20 some minutes that I've been up here. So I did want to point out two things here. The dump pouch, which is really not part of the saddle review, but it was included in the shipment, so I want to just talk about it for just a minute. The dump pouch is really nice and big, and I was able to carry all of my gear in this 9x10 dump pouch. I really like the drawstring, and the material here isn't really stiff. I really like this loose material, and you're really able to cinch that up nice and tight. I really like the Molly. I was able to just hold my little carabiner here for my pull down for my backup, and you do have a pocket here, so I like the pocket, but I've been able to put a lot of stuff in here. My gear hanger, which is on the tree right now, my pull down rope and pull-up rope, pair of gloves for when I rappel, my lineman's belt with 2 carabiners and a ropeman, as well as a spare carabiner. All of that fits in here, and I still have room to spare. So overall, the Stini Gear Classic saddle has been a comfortable saddle. So with that being said, if you want to see how the Classic saddle stacks up against all the other saddles that I've tested and reviewed, make sure to check out the link in the description. That'll take you to the spreadsheet, and you can look at all the pros and cons, the price, the weight, the ordering options, as well as my overall rating and my comfort rating of the Classic saddle. So if saddle reviews like this are helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up, maybe subscribe if you feel I've earned it, and hit that bell notification for more videos like this. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook as well. Most importantly, I hope you get out and enjoy your own adventures. Take care.